And we are live.
Live on the YouTube.
Back at it once again. Was this our third week in a row? No. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, third.
Mm-hmm.
Third time's a charm. Let's get it.
Yes.
This is
Feeling
what we
lucky.
love to see. Feeling lucky? Did you
Mm-hmm.
rub Brian Dable's bald head?
Oh no, but I would pay so much money to do that. Like just one pat. I feel like I would be. How tall is he? I feel like I might be taller than him or the
I
same
don't know
height.
how tall Brian Dable is. He feels to me like he's a short guy.
I think so too.
I think he's short, but I'm not sure. But the Giants lost their first preseason game. I do know that.
Oh, that was very sad.
That happened. They
I
play
don't
their
care if it's
second
preseason.
preseason game on Friday. What time is
Yes.
that game at? Is that at 7 again? Or is it? I'm gonna pull it up. Let me take a look.
I do not know
It's the
actually.
Panthers. You know who I'm really excited to watch in this game? It is at 7. I'm really excited to watch Jonathan Mingo. Not even a Giants player. He's on the Panthers.
Wow.
I wanted him to be on the Giants so desperately badly in this year's draft, and it didn't happen. But that's
I
okay
can
because
see
we
that.
got Jalen Hyatt, but I really wanted him, and I am fully convinced this guy will be a number one wide receiver in the NFL. So I'm excited to watch him play on Friday.
I believe you. I love Hyatt too, but I was someone who really wanted Jordan Addison. So it was like so heartbreaking for me when he got taken. It's like we traded up for the pick right after they took him too. So I remember
Yeah.
just watching that like so heartbroken.
I was also a huge Jordan Addison enjoyer, but my pick was Deontay Banks. That's who I wanted the Giants to take. I was so proud of myself because they took Deontay Banks, and the day before we had posted a video on the channel, and I had said, this is my pick. And then I was able to just post that everywhere and take a victory lap, and that was a lot of fun.
That does sound fun. I feel like so much bragging rights for that one.
I got a few bragging rights, yeah.
I too tweeted Deontay Banks, you are a giant, but I was saying everybody was a giant. So, but I still have the tweet to prove it.
Nice. So you have smaller bragging rights than me, but you have some sort of bragging rights.
Yeah. T. Higgins, you are a giant is still there, and I can't wait for the day I could retweet it and be like, see, I said.
Still possible. And Brandon Ayuk is possible as well. We could see that happen one day. It's also possible. Let's go through some of these chats. Ultra Crimson Lotus is first once again, as usual. Shout out to you, Ultra Crimson Lotus. Super Mario Manningham, probably going to win the prize for coolest name of the night. Fire emojis. Good to see you, my friend.
The
Marty Malella. Let me see the picture again. Oh, that is cool. I like that. The little overalls are funny.
Yeah.
Marty Malella. Hello, everyone. Hello, Marty.
Hello.
Let's go big blue sign Gronk. I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. Not sure that it would be necessary to happen either. I don't know about Rob Gronkowski at this stage in his life. How old is he now? He's got to be pushing 35. He's got to be older than that.
We would have the best tight end room though if that were to happen. I still love it.
Oh, for sure. If Gronkowski could still play at a high level, but that's the question. I don't think it happens, but stranger things have happened. He is 34 years old. Very interesting.
Oh, you thought he was older?
I did. I thought he was a little bit older. I thought he was at least 35. So maybe he does have a little something left in the tank. But he said there's no way he's coming out of retirement. So yeah, one more year. Maybe what will happen is the Giants get to the playoffs and they just need that one last piece in the playoffs. And Gronk's like, fine, 4 more games. Let's go get a Super Bowl.
That'd be the best day of my life.
That would be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. RSG NATO, what's up, dude?
Hello.
Kenny G, yo.
Hi, Kenny G.
RSG NATO asking what channel the game is going to be on Friday. NFL Network is what it says here on Giants.com. I don't know if that's just if it's on NFL Network, that should be nationally. So sweet. They have the national game this week. Woo! I'll be watching. RSG NATO wanted JSN, but at least we got JMS. So we could still be happy.
Ooh, that was smart. That was a smart wordplay.
I'm pretty good, aren't I?
Yeah, I saw that.
JPJ. Who's JPJ? Uh-oh. I'm drawing a blank. This happened last week, too. Someone said Marvin Harrison Jr., MHJ.
Yeah.
And I was like, I so should have known that, and I just didn't. So
I'm bad at abbreviations.
Me too. Is what I'm learning here, that I really just can't put 2 and 2 together. Oh, Joey Porter Jr. Okay, Joey Porter Jr. Thank you for
Oh,
clarifying.
okay.
I also wanted Joey Porter Jr., but I thought that that pick, either he wasn't going to make it, or I think he fell into the second or third round, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think that he went as early as we projected him to, which was the thing, a very surprising thing. But Deonte Banks, dude, you gotta take a look at his film, his clips from Maryland. He was a sticky cornerback, very, very tight coverage, which is what you want.
That is true. I love Banks. I want to get his Banks jersey.
Yeah, I might get his jersey too. Darius Smith said, "Hello, Anthony and Allie. What's up?"
Hi.
Drunk Lawyer said, "Sup, Allie."
Sup, drunk lawyer. What a name.
Sam Fountain says, "What is up, T and A?" I think I'm the T in this situation. So, what's up?
I actually kind of like TNA.
TNA is pretty good. I like that.
That is
All right,
cool.
Sam. I see you, Sam. We usually see you in here. You're always here. We appreciate the support. Let's see. Darius Smith, Gronk to the Giants. We did just touch on that, but I will say my takeaway from that, I tweeted this earlier today. If you guys aren't following me on x.com, I guess it's called now, go ahead and give me a follow, but let me find my tweet. This is what my main takeaway was. My main takeaway from the Gronk video is not the fact that the Giants have a chance of signing Gronk. It's the fact that all of these players around the NFL just want to drop whatever they're doing to play for Brian Daboll. Like when we talked to Bobby Okereke on the channel, he said that Brian Daboll is like one of the main reasons that he signed. If you go look at some Paris Campbell interviews, he talks about Brian Daboll being the reason that he signed. And even Bryce Ford Wheaton, when he undrafted free agent, West Virginia, he was a hot commodity. A lot of teams wanted to sign him after he went undrafted. The Eagles were one of the teams that he was on the phone with, and the Seahawks were one of the teams that he was on the phone with. He hung up those phone calls and he called back Brian Daboll because Brian Daboll was who he wanted to play for. So that's the takeaway from that video. It's not the fact that Gronk wants to play for the Giants. It's that everyone wants to play for Brian Daboll. And we are all really lucky to have Daboll as our head coach.
I agree. I love that man. I feel like he just brings a different energy to this team, which is nice to see. The guys love him.
I agree. I think he has really brought a solid culture into the locker room that was very, very poorly missed, sourly missed, whatever the term is. It was missed. Sneaky says we need T. Higgins. He's on the same train as Eo.
I love T. Higgins.
Janky Boy says, who do you see ending up as the two outside corners? I think one of my favorite parts about live streaming is reading the names out loud.
These names
sometimes it gets a little
amazing.
scary and dangerous. I'm like worried that I'm going to say something that I don't realize I'm saying, but Janky Boy I think is a clean name. So what's up, Janky Boy? Two outside cornerbacks. I think it's going to be Adoree Jackson and Deonte Banks.
Really? Even though they've been putting Adoree in the slot?
Yeah, I think that they're trying to do that with Adoree because they want to see if they can play more of like have him in a role where he's purely shadowing. So like, let's say that they're going up against the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb is the number one wide receiver. Can he play outside and follow Lamb onto the inside? So that way Darnay Holmes doesn't have to get cooked by CeeDee Lamb. If Adoree Jackson can get more comfortable moving inside, outside, outside, inside, and all that, then the whole defense is just going to operate more smoothly. And I think that's what they're trying to do. But it is possible that they really do believe in Trey Hawkins and he ends up as the starter and Adoree Jackson plays in the slot. But I think that what they're really trying to do is just get Adoree Jackson more used to playing all of the positions.
That makes sense. I did see, I think it was Wink. He said something about how they just want the best players on the field when they were asking him if Hawkins was going to start. And he was just like, if he earns that spot, then yeah, they don't really care who they are. If they're the best player and they earn that spot, they're playing.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's like really something part of the culture that Brian Daboll's building. Everyone has to earn their spots. You know, even like John Michael Schmitz, he could have just declared him the starter day one, but he's still been having the camp battle with, Ben Bredesen. Even though we know John Michael Schmitz is going to be the starter, at least they're making them compete, which I think is important.
That's true.
Let's see. King Jod, thanks for the donation. What's up? What's up? Gavin says JPP is washed. Feels like a little bit of a random comment. And I see why. Because Darius Smith said, bring back JPP and just bring him home. Okay, I see now. JPP is definitely a little bit washed, but I would love to see the reunion happen. He's just a backup, could just contribute some meaningful pass rushing snaps here and there. I would love to see it happen.
That would be fun to see.
And Darius says he follows both of us on Twitter. So what's up, Darius? Thanks for the follows on X.com.
He's one of my most interactive followers.
Shout out to Darius.
Yeah.
Let's see. Light Nebula makes a good point here. All the Giants fans want to see the starters play, but in Light Nebula's opinion, there's some players like Waller who we shouldn't see play because of injuries. Who do we think shouldn't play? I think that there's a very small number of players that we shouldn't see play, but those players are probably Waller. I might agree with you on that one. I think that he's just been so dominant at camp. He doesn't need to go out there and play. So I'll say Waller. And if I had to throw one other name out there, I wanted to say Adoree Jackson, but now since we just talked about the fact that he needs to get used to the slot, I think he needs to play. I think he needs to go out there. I think they all need to play. F it. No, there's one player that totally doesn't need to play. Keep Andrew Thomas far away from a preseason field.
Oh, my God. If Andrew Thomas gets hurt, I'm pretty sure I might off myself because I have no idea who's going to fill in for Andrew Thomas. Like, the offensive line depth is, like, so bad. I'm so scared for Danny's life. Even the guy we just signed, it's, like, fine, I guess. I know we have no money, but at the same time, it's just, like, he's not going to do, like, really anything. It's just depth purposes, really.
Yeah, well, anything. Anyone, any player in the NFL has to be better than the product of Corey Cunningham last week versus the Lions. That was just unreal how bad he was in that game. And Wyatt Davis as well. They were terrible. So, I don't want to see Andrew Thomas anywhere close to the football field because if he gets hurt, this whole season is just in the gutter.
I saw this on Twitter. Someone was like, we need to bubble wrap Andrew Thomas. And I kind of really agree with that. Bubble wrap all the way around. Do not let him get hurt.
I agree. And I think that maybe one other would be maybe Dexter Lawrence, but I think that he's fine. He could probably go out there and just
I feel like a few snaps for Dexter Lawrence isn't really gonna. Well, I don't want to jinx it. I'm knocking on.
Careful now.
I don't want this to come back to me.
Tuto Azuri. Here you are once again. You're always here, and I always appreciate you. And I always struggle to read your half Italian, half English messages, but I always appreciate your presence here. So it's also been a while, Tuto. I feel like I haven't seen you in a minute. So I'm glad that you're back. Massive salutes and respects to Big Boss Tony, Darius Smith, and all diehard Giants fans in America. And please stop all stinky boys, losers out of dough. Forget about it. There you go, Tuto. I
love that. That was amazing.
Janky boy, love the content, grateful for the work you do. Salute, Janky boy. Darius says ciao to Tuto. Ciao, Tuto.
Love that.
Darius, ciao, paisano. I really love the Italian vibes in the chat right now. I really appreciate it.
I know. It has me wanting to break out my high school Italian right now.
I didn't learn. I don't know it. I only know a few words, so don't quiz me.
If I know more Italian than you, that's sad because I'm not even Italian.
You probably do, so it's probably a pretty sad scene.
Italian honors, AP Italian.
Changing the topic. All right, Darius, you make a good point here. Linebacker and edge depth is really shaky. So what I think is going to happen is that the Giants are going to look at 3 positions on the waiver wire. After the cuts start to happen, it's going to be edge, it's going to be linebacker, and it's going to be offensive tackle. Those are the 3 weakest depth positions because we have good starters at all 3 of those positions in my eyes, but the depth is really bad. And I do not trust on the edge in particular. I don't trust O'Shane Ximines. I feel like injuries, inconsistencies, he's just not the guy in my eyes. We need a better third pass rusher.
Yeah, he was really underwhelming in the last game. It was just, he didn't do anything really.
Yeah, he did pretty much nothing in the last preseason game. So kind of a dud. He got outshined by Tom and Fox. And what's the other guy's name? The undrafted guy. He's got an interesting last name.
Terrible with names, great with faces.
Okay. Well, the undrafted guy played well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Janky Boy, Donovan Peoples-Jones in free agency next season. Janky Boy, you're so active in the comments right now. I appreciate you. Also, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Michigan product, I believe, right? That's a player that Stephen RC, thank you. Baldano or Baldonado. You said NATO. I
Oh,
think it was Dono.
he
Yeah, but
he actually did play really good. He was a
yes.
standout. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's who I was talking about. He did play well. He played well. I was
Yeah.
impressed. Had a couple pressures. He played well. Donovan Peoples-Jones is a player that I'm not super familiar with. I kind of stopped watching him once he was drafted by another team, but I do think that wide receiver help is going to be an area of focus in next offseason, as it has been for the last few off seasons.
Yeah.
So I think that Peoples-Jones could probably be a solid contributor. I remember being pretty impressed with his contested catch ability when he was in college.
I like Peoples Jones. Honestly, most of my time watching Peoples Jones is just me screaming his name. Like whenever there's like a good play, I'm like, "Oh snap, it's Peoples Jones." Like that's really all I can tell you about him.
It's a cool name. He's definitely
It's
got one of
fun.
the coolest names in
Yeah.
football.
Yeah, it's fun to say his name.
This is a good question. Brian Brown, should Trey Hawkins play first week or is he not ready for it? Well, I don't think that we know the answer to that question, but what I will say is that if the Giants put him out there in the first week, he's ready. I trust that Brian Dable's not rushing him out there for any reason at all, unless he thinks that it's going to help his team win football games. So
We'll have to see how he
that's my take.
plays. He's been playing good though. I'm actually excited.
He has. He's been playing great throughout training camp. I thought he had a really good
Mhm.
performance in week 1 of the preseason. But,
Mhm.
if he goes out there in week 2 of the preseason and he lets up a touchdown, we know some of these fans who are so fair weather are going to
Yeah,
start saying,
yeah.
oh, overrated. He can't start week 1. He can just have a bad night. So we'll see. I think
Mhm.
it's going to be important to see how he plays throughout both of these next 2 games.
Yeah.
And then that bye week leading up to the regular season where it's just practices. Let's see how
Mhm.
the lineup shapes out there. That's how I'm feeling.
Yeah. I agree.
Kenny G makes a good point here in terms of preseason. We do need to see Daniel Jones play a little bit in the preseason,
Yeah.
whether it's a drive or two, and putting him out there without having Andrew Thomas on the field is probably a pretty horrible risk. I think that Corey Cunningham might
Yeah.
accidentally get Daniel Jones
I
killed if he has to protect him.
I don't want Daniel Jones to die.
Me neither.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen it so much of just him not being able to do anything. I don't want to see it. Not yet. I feel like a snap or two isn't gonna hurt them. I hope not. Like, obviously, they're not gonna play maybe like a whole quarter, but I do feel like they're gonna be out there for literally just a few snaps. If
I
it's a
could
whole
see them
quarter,
playing a quarter, potentially. Maybe they could play a quarter, but I don't know. I think that it is important for them to get out there and play a little
Mhm.
bit. Like Daniel Jones going into the second year of this offense, I think
Mhm.
he needs a little bit of preseason playing time. And I think that, there's a lot of players like that. One of them being Evan Neal. Evan Neal needs to go out
Yeah.
there and play. I'm happy that he cleared concussion protocol today because he's got to go out there and he needs to start getting ready for the regular
Didn't he
season
hurt his
because
ankle?
he's behind. Yeah, I saw that he taped his ankle up or something today. So
Mm.
the injury bug keeps grabbing him, unfortunately. Not
I
good.
don't like that.
Stephen RC. Madden is horrible. Pre-ordered the game for 3-day early access, but so many bugs. Servers didn't notice. Tried franchise. All the offseason signings weren't updated. Really? They didn't even update the roster? So then what are we doing here, EA Sports? What are we even buying this game for if the roster isn't accurate?
I read something that said they weren't expecting that many people to try to like get the early access, but
Hmm.
be for real, people are so impatient. Obviously, almost everybody is going to try to get early access anyway. So for you to say you're not prepared for that many people is insane.
That is insane.
Mhm.
I didn't buy it this year. This is the first year of my life that I didn't buy it.
Really?
So, yep.
My
I just
brother got
said
it.
I've had enough. I want a better game. I don't know. I've seen a lot of people playing it though on my Twitter
Mhm.
timeline, so maybe I'll be compelled to make the purchase. But for now, I'm just waiting for the next FIFA. I love FIFA.
I've
Big
never
soccer
played a
guy.
game of FIFA in my life.
You should get on that. That's a fun
Yeah.
game.
And I barely watch soccer. I feel like I only watched Manchester City because I like Holland, and that was like it. That
I
was the
like
only
Holland.
soccer
My
I
friend
watched.
is a big
Yeah.
City fan. I'm a Napoli fan though, as Tuto knows. Tuto knows I'm a Napoli fan.
Yeah, but you don't even speak Italian.
Mm-hmm. Okay. RM, hey AV, do you think DJ's running ability is going to be limited now because of the abundance of weapons he has now? Me personally, I hope not. AV, that's stumping me. Who's AV?
I don't know, but ironically, that's my initials.
So maybe it's you. Maybe they knew that somehow. It's
That's
possible.
crazy. But yeah, maybe no, I don't think so. Honestly, I feel like if anything, it's just gonna open him up more. Just because defenses know they're not only gonna have to focus on Saquon, or they're not only gonna have to focus on if he's gonna be able to run and make the play. So I feel like defenses are gonna be super stumped. It's like, is he gonna throw the ball? Is he gonna run with the ball? Is he gonna give the ball to Saquon? So I think with what Kafka and Dabes want to do with the offense, I think they don't want us to be like a one-trick pony. I feel like they want everybody to be confused. And they're like, you're not going to know what play we're going to do. It's going to be super creative, super fun offense. That's what I think we're going to see.
I agree with that. I think that's the
Mhm.
correct analysis. I think that the Giants are actually going to have Daniel Jones run even more. I just think that
Mhm.
they're going to get really creative. Like he's going to be able to run and scramble more. He's going to have
Mhm.
more designed runs, everything. I just think that this
Mhm.
offense is just going to be more creative because it's the second year in the system, so they can really
Mhm.
open it up now. So, and RM, I see your comment. You were typing fast. I got you. You meant to say
Predicted my initials correct though, which is
Yep, you
crazy.
got the initials correct. Good job, RM. And thanks again for the donation. Okay, Peter. Whatever happened to Ellerson Smith? He's gone. They cut him. They waived him due to being injured, as he's been his entire NFL career. He has never been healthy, so it's not shocking.
There's a lot of salt in that.
Yeah, I mean, Ellerson Smith was a player that a lot of fans of the channel would always be commenting about and like telling us, "Oh, what about Ellerson Smith? Like, talk about
Mhm.
him, talk about him." And every single
Um,
time, I would just be like, "I'll talk about him when he's healthy." So now I never have to talk about him, and I'm
you
glad.
feel good. You feel good.
I feel good.
That's good.
Diggy, good to see you, my man. Haven't bought Madden in 4 years. I don't blame you. I mean, I've been buying it the past couple of years, and then within a month, I just stopped playing it. So this year, I was like, I'm just not even wasting the money. I'm just not doing it. It doesn't make sense for me.
I'll come back to you in about 2 months, and I bet you would have bought. Like, you're gonna have it.
If it
You bought
comes on sale, I'll buy it, but I don't know. I couldn't justify the pre-order like I used to always do it, and I don't know. I just couldn't do it anymore. I can't justify it. It's not a good enough game anymore.
The soundtrack is absolutely terrible though. Like, I feel like
The
that's a
soundtrack
game
was
you have to.
really bad. No, that was one of my favorite Twitter interactions that I've had in the last month because they tweeted about the soundtrack, and they said the all of your favorite artists are on Twitter or on Madden, and then I said these are not our favorite artists, and then one of the artists responded to me and
No
said
way.
not. They said not yet, and then another Giants fan responded to him and said not ever, and it killed me. I don't know which Giants
That
fan that
is
was, but
really
whoever it was,
funny.
yeah, that was awesome.
Man, I don't even think I've ever heard of half the people that were even on that soundtrack. I feel like who even puts that together? Like,
I don't
who
know.
goes, you know what the kids love these days? These people. It's like they probably just typed in like, oh, rappers for young adults or something like that. Like,
That's
I
how
don't
it
know.
feels. I didn't recognize more than like three of the names, so I don't know. Nothing
Mhm.
redeemable about this game. And Steven RC 2K this year is the Black Mamba edition. I also stopped buying 2K 2 years ago. I just don't enjoy any of these games other than FIFA anymore. It's pretty sad.
That is really sad. I don't
Yeah.
really play. I suck at sports games. It's just too much for me. Too many buttons I have to press at the same time, and it just gets me like so aggravated. So
Yeah, you would not enjoy FIFA then.
no, most definitely not. I like a good story game. I like a good like open world game.
Ellerson Smith is the Adrian Robinson of edge players is the craziest comment that I've seen today. That is crazy. Adrian Robinson. You mean Jason Pierre-Paul? No. Man, the Giants have had some busts in recent years that Giants fans always love to hype up in the comment section for me, and I always
I'm dead.
I don't know. I feel like I always have to
I'm
be the
dead.
guy that's like, no, I don't believe in them. I always have to temper expectations by saying certain buzzwords. I'm like, I think that they'll be good depth. I think that they can contribute on special teams, which is read between the lines, guys. I don't believe in those players.
Aw. That's actually, like, really funny, but so sad at the same time. Do you ever
Yeah,
just, like, wanna scream, like, "No, they suck, that's it," like,
I mean all the time, but you gotta maintain a certain level of professionalism. So that's
I
what I
would just
try to
tell
do.
you if they suck, I'll be honest with you guys.
That's why you're here. That's why you're here. Two-toe. Tony's Napoli killed everyone last season. Yes, we did. But we've got Napoli's GM now. There will be a much different outcome this season, Paisano. No, sir. I disagree. Juve Merde. No, I do not believe in Juve. And in fact, Juve to me in the soccer world is kind of what the Cowboys are to me in the Giants world. So Forza Napoli, you're going down, Two-toe.
I'm so confused by this.
Soccer. Irako. Daniel Jones over 29.5 passing touchdowns. I already know what your answer is going to be, Ali. So why don't you give your
Yes,
prediction?
I think he's gonna have 55 touchdowns.
55? Oh
55
my
touchdowns.
goodness.
No, I think you could
55.
go for that. Yeah.
That's a pretty big number.
I'm
I don't know.
joking.
I
I
honestly,
I need to see how everything goes in a game. I need to see exactly like how this offensive line holds up. Even though I do think it's gonna be good, but everything looks good in training camp. Everything looks good in practice until it's like real time game and
that is
things
so
just happen.
factual.
So
That is so
you never
factual.
know.
Once we get to the regular season, week one, we've had so many years where we have like high expectations, and then we get to week one. Like I
Mhm.
remember in the Eli Manning years, we'd be all hyped. We're like, Eli's back this year, baby. First play of the game, he gets sacked, and we're like, it's happening again, guys. The nightmares are back.
Okay, while we're on this topic, this happened to me last season. And I could go on and on about how like the emotional roller coaster that Titans game put me on. So it's like, okay, I'm thinking, you know, high expectations are gonna go and we're gonna be good. I'm seeing Daniel Jones throw an interception. He was getting sacked. I feel like we were down at one point, and it was just like so triggering because I was like, oh no, I don't want to relive another season, and it was just so heartbreaking. But then obviously they won off of
It
this
won.
2 point conversion thanks to Dave's, who I love, but it's definitely like super nerve wracking. I just not wanting to relive all those like bad moments when you are riding a high. Like, okay, I want this to be really, really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, at least for the first time in a long time, we feel like we finally found the guy in Dable,
Mm,
and we shouldn't have any more of those bad seasons. So that's exciting. I think that the Giants are back on the right path, and over the next few years, we can hopefully watch them be playoff contenders annually,
mm,
and that would be excellent. And honestly, the only reason that that won't happen, it's going to fall on the shoulders of the guy in this comment, Daniel Jones. If he ends up
mm,
being bad for these next few years, then the Giants are going to be bad. But if he ends up playing at least at the level that he played last season or continuing to get better, then the Giants will continue to make the playoffs and get better. So it really does fall on the shoulders of the quarterback in my eyes.
he's not
And
going
I
down.
don't think he's topping 29.5. I think he falls at like
He's saying
27.
that in a Daniel Jones jersey.
I know I'm literally wearing the DJ jersey. So you guys know I believe in him. But if you ask me 29.5 total touchdowns, I
No,
think
I
he
agree with you.
hits.
I can see.
I think he hits over 30. Because I think the Giants are still going to be a run first team because there
Yeah.
are some questions on the offensive line. There are some
Hmm.
questions in the receiving core, and Saquon Barkley's still the man in the backfield. So I think he's going to wind up around 27, 28 passing touchdowns and 5 to 7 rushing
Hmm.
touchdowns. So he'll top
Yeah, that
30
makes sense.
touchdowns, but I don't think he's going 30 passing touchdowns.
That makes sense.
And I see Diggy in the comments agrees with me. So Diggy and I usually agree on pretty much everything. Diggy and I need to collab again soon. So Diggy, please DM me on Twitter/X. We have not collabed in a while, and it's been too long, my friend. Let's see. RSG NATO, what giant are y'all looking forward to seeing in this game? Jonathan Mingo. I'm just kidding. That's me. Trey Hawkins and Deontay Banks. Really
Hyatt.
keep an eye on the corners.
Hyatt. I've been talking about Hyatt since last week, and I'm so mad I didn't get to see anything from Hyatt but one pass and negative yards. All I need one. I just want one deep pass. That's it, and I will be the happiest girl in the world. So just give me a long Hyatt pass, please.
I think that if Daniel Jones plays, they're gonna just dial up a deep shot to Hyatt just for fun, like just to give us a glimpse, And I think that's exactly what they should do. And also,
100%.
this question just reminded me. There's one player that had like a phenomenal elite week 1 of the preseason, and nobody's talking about him. His name is Alex Cook. Nobody's talking about my guy Alex Cook out of Houston.
I saw your article on that
Not
actually.
Houston. Was he from Houston? I don't even remember. Washington. That's what it was. It was Washington. Undrafted free agent. He had 7 tackles, led the team in tackles, and nobody has said a peep about him. What's going on here? I did write an article on that. Thank you for shouting that out. And we will be talking about it on the channel tomorrow, Alex. And I've already planned that one. I said, Alex, this is what we're talking about tomorrow.
It was a really good article.
Alex Cook. Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate that.
You should go read it.
Yes, everybody should go read it. But yeah, Alex Cook, guys, like he looked really good. And I'm not saying that to say like, oh, this guy is gonna, be on the team, he's gonna make an impact. I'm saying it to say that the Giants, for some reason, keep finding safety talent, or they just keep developing safety talents. One of the two. Either Joe Schoen has a real eye for safeties, because we've got Pinnock, we've got McKinney, we've got Belton, we've got McCain, and now we've got Cook, and we've got Javarius Owens, who also played really well in that game. So there's 6 good safeties on this roster right now, which is absurd to me. So what my takeaway is, either Joe Schoen is just really good at finding safeties, or Jerome Henderson is really good. Our defensive backs coach is really good at turning safeties into good players. So I'm excited, and keep an eye on Alex Cook.
I'm taking notes.
Diggy says Jerome Henderson is a Hall of Famer. I think you might be right, dude. He's just making everybody in our secondary is just developing at like an astronomical rate. Even Hawkins, Banks, like they're all just turning good so fast. And I think that's something to really just take notice of in this preseason. Oh, Marty said his team is Manchester United. Okay, the Devils. I'm not a United fan. Our secondary needs to be above average for us to really make some noise this year. In 2007, it was all the O-line and D-line for sure, but everyone forgets that we had a solid secondary that year as well. RM, thanks so much for the donation. And let me say, I think that even in 2012, people forget how good that secondary was as well. Don't sleep on my guy, Antrell Roll. He was arguably like my best player on that team that season. I loved Antrell Roll.
I'm seeing the geek come out a little bit. He got so excited reading that.
I did. Antrell Roll, man. I feel like nobody ever talks about Antrell Roll. Like that was a damn good player for the Giants back then, man. Reminiscing on 2012. What a year. Best year of my life, some say.
Wow. I don't even remember 2012.
Well, Giants won the Super Bowl.
I remember the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's
and then
it.
But then that June, my basketball team went and won the championship as well, the Miami Heat.
Nice.
So yeah. So I was a happy guy that year. Happiest year of my life, some say.
You're a Heat fan?
Wow. I am a Heat fan. And you want to know what's weird? It's not because I live in Florida. I was a Heat fan while I lived in New York.
That is insane. Why?
Dwayne Wade. I love Dwayne Wade. He just made me fall in love with the game of basketball. And
so you're still a Heat fan now?
Mm-hmm. Still a Heat fan. I always root for the Knicks if they're not playing the Heat. That's my rule. So sorry, but go Heat. All right, let's see what else here. Jordan Rannon said in his 10 years of covering the Giants training camp, this offense has been the best he's seen. Said on the Michael K podcast. That's pretty cool. That's pretty high praise because Jordan is pretty critical. ESPN reporter, very, very critical. So that's a pretty good compliment right there. And, it doesn't shock me because we've had some really bad offenses for these last 10 years.
I was thinking about this, even as far as like people have so many questions on like what wide receivers they think are going to make the roster. But I feel like it's just fun to even ask that question because at one point it was like we didn't really have any wide receivers that we feel like were even able to play. So now to have like an abundance and kind of still question like who can make it and who can't is just kind of interesting.
Okay. It's a really good problem to have. And it's one that, again, we haven't had in a damn while. So that's exciting.
Yeah. Crowded wide receiver room? I'll take it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, longtime viewers of the channel know that wide receiver is my favorite position in football, and I love watching wide receiver talent. I don't know. I like can sit there and there's like certain Twitter accounts or Instagram accounts that are just about route running, and you just watch these wide receivers run route. And to me, it's like watching art be made. Like I love that position. I think that it's just so there's such like a structure to it, but then there's all the creative element within the structure of running the routes. And so right now, the Giants having a lot of good receivers makes me really happy.
I love that answer. I love that.
Yeah, I'm getting vulnerable right now. I'm really opening up here.
I know.
Let's see. 100% agree. Roll. Yes. Antro Roll. Top 5 free agents we've ever signed. He's got to be up there. Steven Arcia has a signed Roll jersey. I'm jealous. Damn.
See, you started it. You have them talking now.
Antro Roll. He deserves more praise. Nobody talks about him. Like, he was so important to that team. It was crazy. Also, Drunk Lawyer. Giants Heat fan. This is my new twin here. Drunk Lawyer, my new twin.
I can't. This is like so insane to me. There's actually like so many Giants fans that are Heat fans. It's weird. I don't understand. I don't know.
Well, I think a lot of that came from the LeBron days. So many fans jumped onto the Heat bandwagon when LeBron was there. I was on a year before that, though. I can confirm. It was not because LeBron joined. It was because of Dwayne Wade. I started watching them like a year before LeBron showed up, and then he did. And I was like, okay, let's go. Like, say less. So.
I actually don't watch that much basketball. And when I do, it's the Knicks. But I'm currently mad at them because I love Obi Toppin. And that trade like really hurt my heart. So I'm mourning right now.
Yeah, I haven't really watched the NBA much the past few years. Like, I know that the Heat made it to the finals, and so I watched that. But I really only watched playoff games, and that's pretty much all I do now. I don't really rock with the NBA anymore. It's like, I don't know. There's just a lot wrong with it in my eyes. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I go on for too long. This is a good question here. Do you think we should re-sign Xavier McKinney? How much is too much for him? So I think that's a really tough question. We touched on that not yesterday. Was it yesterday? I don't know. Alex and I touched on that, I think, yesterday. And his contract is so dependent on this upcoming season. The way that I put it yesterday is if I was Xavier McKinney, there's no shot that I would sign a contract right now if I were him. Like, if the Giants came to him and were like, here, let's sign you for this amount. He can't even think about signing that, because if he goes out there and balls out this year, he's going to exceed the expectations of that contract and he's going to miss out on money. But if he also doesn't play well, the Giants are not going to want to have paid him because he's really only had one good season. And Xavier McKinney is like arguably my favorite player on this team right now, definitely in the top 5. So I don't want to see him get extended until next year either. But if I had to put it in a ballpark, if he has a really good year, you're talking as high as $14 million. If he has an okay year, you're talking as low as $8 million. But he's somewhere in that range. But that's why you can't sign that extension right now, because it's a big range, because he's had all these injuries and I don't know. So Xavier McKinney, but hopefully he balls out and we have to extend him because I really like Xavier McKinney.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites too. That's just a fan favorite of mine. I'd be heartbroken to see McKinney go somewhere else. Like, I was heartbroken to see Jordan Love leave. That one hurt me.
Yeah, Julian Love was personal.
Oh, did I say Jordan Love?
Yeah, he said Jordan Love, but
oh my God, Julian. Thank you. I caught that. I was like, wait. Not Jordan Love.
Julian Love was a player that we interviewed like years and years ago.
Really?
So yeah, it was tough to see him go, but it happens. It's part of the sport, part of the business end of it. Bryce Ford Wheaton's issue still seems to be catching with his body, not with his hands, and that was the case in college. Yeah, and that's something that's going to take him a while to probably get used to. He needs a good wide receiver coach like Drew Lieberman, who we interviewed a couple weeks ago. Maybe I could try and connect to the two of them. That would be cool.
That'd be fun. Help him out.
I actually did something like that once. I connected Tay Gowan, who was drafted by Philadelphia, unfortunately. But we interviewed him before the draft. He played at UCF, and we connected him with Brian Walker, who was a cornerback or defensive backs coach who was working privately with Jabril Peppers and Darnay Holmes. So I don't know whatever happened there, but I know that they exchanged numbers and spoke. So
that's kind of cool. Look at you, middleman.
Mm-hmm. Everybody eats. how I like to see it. Even though I was helping a Philadelphia player get better, but I think he ended up on the Cardinals. I don't know where
Traitor.
he is now, though. I don't know where Tay Gowan is now, but he was a cool guy. He had a lot of good energy, and he was very, very intelligent. Cool guy. Julian Love was a tough load, to be honest, and I don't think his contract was bad at all. I think you mean tough loss, so I'm going to assume. And yes, he was. I really think that for the value of that contract, the Giants should have matched it at the very least. If he told them that was the deal, they should have matched it. But at the same point, it's Pinnock season, baby. I'm ready.
Moving on from the heartbreak.
Yeah, I'm ready for Jason Pinnock. I mean, he looked so good in that preseason game. It was ridiculous. So hopefully he can just keep that up.
He was like one of the standouts that game.
He sure was. I mean, I think he looked like the best player on the field at any point in that game. He was just incredible. Yeah. Brian Brown, why hasn't Darnay Holmes been cut yet? Because it's not all about practice. I don't think he played poorly in the preseason game. Let me pull up his stats, see what he did. I know you're a big Darnay Holmes enjoyer, aren't you?
I am, but just because I like him as a human being. And I think that's the tough part of just talking about these players. It's like we're like, you're gonna get cut or you suck and you should get fired. But then at the same time, like these are their careers, like their livelihood, their dreams. So it's like us going, I want you to get cut. It's like, I hope you don't achieve your dream. It's just like so sad, especially when they are great human beings. And that's what I like about Darnay Holmes. I feel like I think he's just like a human being. I like him as a person. So I'm rooting for him. And like I'd be sad if he gets cut, but I would understand it at the same time if someone does beat him out and if he can't pick up his own weight, then it's like, what can we do?
I'm in the exact same boat because, again, Brian Walker, he trains Darnay Holmes in the offseason. So I know him. So I want to see Darnay succeed because I want to see Brian succeed. I want to see Brian succeed. So I want to see Darnay succeed. So it's all that. And then also talking with Brian, he's told us the story of Darnay Holmes, like how he got to where he was when we spoke to him when Holmes was a rookie. And it was like very inspiring. Like this is a guy that slept on the floor, he was pretty much homeless at one point. Like this dude fought really, really hard to get where he is. So I will always be rooting for Darnay Holmes. I want to see the guy succeed. But like you said, got to get the best 53 men on that roster. Yeah. He's been struggling. He is likely to get cut by the end of the offseason and, the start of the regular season. But I also don't count him out. He's got a lot of experience. He's a good tackler. I mean, that's one thing that we can all agree on. He is a good tackler. And his last preseason game, he was targeted once in coverage. He let up 0 receptions. So keep it up, Darnay.
Rooting for you.
I'm rooting for him hard. I really I like Darnay, even though he's not the best player. But love the guy.
Okay.
Let's see. That's also a good point. Holmes hasn't been cut because Flott hasn't looked good. Flott's looked okay, but there's room for improvement there as well. The Giants are just thin at that position, which is, again, one of the reasons why they're trying Adoree Jackson out at that spot, because they need somebody to step up in the slot and prove that they're capable of starting. Flott had 2 targets, 0 receptions, so he actually did play well on Friday. Not bad. Not bad. Ellie, what are your thoughts on Evan Engram?
I don't want to talk about Evan Engram. You already know this. You were like saying that I was wrong. Butterfingers will forever go down in history as someone that I'm forever angry at because he had so many drops, so many like balls that were like basically interceptions because they went right through his hands. For some reason, he just couldn't catch a ball here for the life of him, and then he went to the Jaguars and decided to just be good. And so I'm salty about that because he couldn't do that here. So that's it. I'm over him. I don't care. I'm mad at him. When we played them, I wanted to win just because I didn't want him to beat us. I'm so salty towards him. That's insane.
Yeah. Well, I think that a lot of his big breakout that had to do with Drew Lieberman. Like I mentioned, he's been coaching Darius Slayton. He's been coaching Evan Engram, and he really helped Evan Engram turn it around. So hopefully what we're going to see this year is Darius Slayton have that breakout 1,000-yard season.
I'm excited for that because I'm rooting so hard for Slayton. I feel like my only problem with Slayton is the drops.
Yeah. I don't think the drops going to be a problem this year at all. I really don't think they will.
And that's good. That's amazing. It would be good to see him and DJ finally break out together. They were drafted together, so it's gonna be
Mhm.
nice to see them both just go crazy.
Yep. Go
No more
crazy.
drops.
Ah.
Yeah, no more drops, Slayton. Please, I'm rooting for you. He's one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
Well, him and Lieberman worked really, really freaking hard on the
Mhm.
drops, and I think that you look at the clips during training camp so far, that ball
Yeah.
is not moving when it touches his
Mhm.
hand. So I'm a believer, man. This is
Mhm.
the season where I'm really all in on
Mhm.
Darius Slayton. Like I honestly I think he might top 1,000 receiving yards.
Mhm.
It wouldn't shock me at all.
And I would be so excited.
Me too. Sam Fountain, I'm
Mhm.
worried about our second tier offensive line. Is a trade possible? Who can we give up? So I think that a trade could be possible. However, it's really unlikely. The only thing that I could see happening would be maybe the Giants go ahead and trade one of those wide receivers, like Ali mentioned, so many wide
Mhm.
receivers. Maybe they ship one of those guys off backup for another backup offensive lineman. But in all likelihood, where they're going to find offensive line help is going to be on the waiver wire. You're going to see some
Mhm.
backup get cut somewhere, and the Giants are going to cut their backup for the other backup because they think the other
Mhm.
backup is better. That's probably how it goes.
Yeah. I don't really know if other than a wide receiver, I don't really think there's anybody else to trade, really.
Yeah, the Giants don't have a lot of depth in a lot of areas.
Yeah.
Maybe at safety they could trade a guy on the back end, but at
Mhm.
the same time, those guys don't really hold a lot of value either.
Mhm.
Safeties in general don't really hold a lot of value.
Mhm.
So, but as RM points out, the strong safety position will eventually be like the running back position. That's possible, which is one of the reasons why the Giants might not be in a rush to sign
Mhm.
Xavier McKinney to a contract. So, and thank you for the donation, RM.
Thank you. How kind.
Yeah, I mean, I think the safety market crashed pretty badly this past season, and
Mhm.
nobody really talked about that because of the running back market
Yeah.
crashing like it was the Great Depression.
Mhm.
But at the same point, you could say that the safety market had the Great Recession here. So I don't know.
What season? Gonna drop off. It's just sad to see. Even like running backs, like I do feel like there's some running backs that, yeah, they do deserve to get paid, but the way the market is set up, I feel like it's more a strictly quarterback passing league right now, and then you have a lot of Russian quarterbacks that are trending now. So to them,
Yeah.
it's like we could win with whoever. Like the Chiefs, they basically had a running back committee. They started the year Clyde Edwards-Helaire, middle of the year McKinnon, end of the year Pacheco. It was like they used three different running backs to get them to a Super Bowl. So
Hmm. Yeah, and wide receivers are proving to be more valuable than ever, and now you're seeing those
mhm,
contracts just explode. I
yeah,
mean, Jamar Chase and all these other
mhm,
guys are going to get paid in an insane way. So, and
mhm,
yeah, I think you make a good point there. Running back by committee, for what it's worth. New York Giants running back by committee in 2012 and 2008 when they won those past two Super Bowls. So
mhm,
we've seen the Giants win with that, but at the same token, Saquon Barkley, he's a
mhm,
superstar. I think he can lead us to win
mhm.
games, and he did last year. So Diggy, good question. More than Waller in reference to Darius Slayton receiving yards. I think Waller has more, but I think my point here is like I could see both of these guys topping 1,000 receiving yards, and we haven't been able to say that about the Giants in so long. When was the last time we thought we could have 2,000-yard receivers in this offense? So let alone one, we could maybe have two,
Mhm.
which is
Yeah,
insane. So, but it is a passing league, as you just said, Allie.
yeah, that's what it is, and I'm excited. I love Darren Waller as well. So, a little
You think
fun fact
Waller?
about me.
You think Waller or Slayton can end up with more receivers, or with receiving yards, more receiving yards?
Uh, honestly, maybe Waller. I'm just gonna say it because I do see Danny throwing to Waller a lot more. In camp, most of the time, half the passes were to Darren Waller.
Yeah. Waller is like another level of talent, so he is like the easy choice there. But I wouldn't be shocked. It just wouldn't blow me away if Slayton ends up getting
Yeah,
more receiving yards. I don't know. I'm just really high on him after interviewing
yeah.
Drew Lieberman, I guess. But also, he's looked
I
so
love
good at
Slayton.
camp, and yeah,
Yeah,
Slayton's one of those guys you just want to root for. So
but I love Darren Waller, which we all know. And fun fact about me. So, a little embarrassed and ashamed to admit it, but there was a point where I was rooting really hard for the Raiders because I love Derek Carr, and there was that season, their coach got fired,
mhm.
basically didn't have a wide receiver one because of Henry Ruggs, and I thought Derek Carr did what he could with literally just Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow. So I was really pulling hard for the Raiders that year, so I feel like maybe I have just some love for Darren Waller. So
Yeah.
when I saw he was coming here, I was super excited.
Yeah. So you already had like a lot of love for the player before he was on the Giants, which is always
Yeah,
nice. So
yeah,
yeah.
100%.
No, I think that Waller he'll have more receiving yards, but I could see him going for 1,100 where
Mhm.
Slayton goes for like 1,050. Like I could see it being
Yeah.
close because Waller, while I think he's the most dominant player on the field for the Giants, other than Saquon
Mhm.
Barkley, he could be. At the same time, I think that he's a tight end, so
Yeah.
ultimately his career high in receiving yards, 1,100, is not the same as other wide receivers in the NFL who can go for
Mhm.
1,500 receiving yards because they're wide
Yeah.
receivers. So
Mhm.
yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting though. But man, that would be great if the Giants had 2,000-yard receivers and a 1,000-yard rusher. That would
Yeah.
be the most complete Giants offense that we've seen in God knows how long.
I'm excited about our offense though, like offensive line depth, like to the side, not worrying about that. I think our offense is pretty stacked, so it's gonna be really fun to watch them. Just all the receivers we have, the speed we had, well, speed we have, the height we have too. Darren Waller's tall, Hodgins he's big, so
hmm
it's just exciting.
Yeah, I think that they have a bunch of talent on offense in the skill position
Mhm,
department, pretty much all over the place. So
mhm,
it's all about putting the pieces together. It's like a
mhm.
puzzle. Sam Fountain, special teams. What happened? It seems like it fell off a cliff. Yeah, that was a really, really rough outing on Friday, and you can best believe that Brian Dable and Thomas McGahee had a long talk, and that is going to be hopefully better this upcoming Friday. I would think that special teams needs to be.
That's a unit I actually really wanna pay attention to, like, I don't know how much better they can get because they look absolutely atrocious, but I do wanna see them making tackles because for some reason they couldn't tackle for their life,
Yeah.
and I don't wanna see another 90-plus yard touchdown return ever, that was so embarrassing, shouldn't have happened, and I don't wanna see it happen again, so special teams needs to get it together, and I'm going to pay extra attention to them.
Yeah. And all of the missed tackles all in that return as well. But what I will say about special teams, this is the problem with the Giants special teams and why it might not get better is because special teams is all of your depth players running out on the field
Yeah.
together. And the Giants don't have a lot of good depth right now. They do it safety, as I mentioned, they do it receiver, but
Mhm.
receiver, I mean, those guys aren't going to go out there and make massive impact out
Yeah.
there. But those other guys like cornerback, like we're pretty thin on the back end of the roster at
Mhm.
cornerback and linebacker as well on the edge. You see a lot of edge guys go out there like Cam Brown. He played really poorly this past Friday. So
Mhm.
the lack of depth on the Giants roster is ultimately why their special teams looked so
Mhm.
bad on Friday, but it shouldn't look that bad during the regular season. So I don't know. It's a process building that unit together,
Mhm.
but it is usually you see the best teams in the NFL have good special teams because they have good depth.
Mm,
So
my depth is lacking.
yeah, the depth is definitely lacking. Marty
Mm.
gave you a follow on X.
Thanks, Marty.
Shout out Marty.
That was nice.
Let's see. How did we meet? Twitter, X.
Yeah.
That's it. That easy. That's how I met Alex too. I DM'd Alex on Twitter.
Did you really? You shot your shot.
Shot my shot. That's how it goes.
Love to see
Goes down in the DM.
it.
Slayton has the best chemistry with DJ. It wouldn't be a surprise at all. Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
mean, that chemistry is legitimate.
I tolerate no DJ slander.
Neither does Slayton. RSG
Yeah.
Nato with a fun question. What's our favorite color? There's only one answer
Am
to
I
this
gonna go
question.
first? Am I gonna go first?
You go first.
Okay. I don't want to be basic and say blue, but I'm a green girl. Actually, I
Okay.
love olive green.
Okay.
Olive green is my
Interesting.
favorite. Yeah.
The only one
It's
answer
a,
for me is Giants blue. That's it.
is that really your favorite color?
That's really my favorite
It
color.
makes sense. I didn't want to be basic and say that I actually really am a green girl. I love green. Like leaves, green, not Jets green, but I like green.
Yeah, not Jets green, not Eagles green, but I'm
Yeah.
a big Giants blue guy. My car is Giants blue. I got a Honda Civic.
Is it
Very
really?
blue.
I
Yes.
love that. Oh
and
my
it
gosh.
and I will be driving it up to Fan Fest. I want to see everybody there.
Yes.
Please come say hello to me at Fan Fest. I'm making
I
the,
will
the
be there
long
too.
travel. That is going to be the worst drive of my life, but I am so ready for it because I will get to meet all of you at Fan Fest and watch Super Mario Brothers for some reason.
Yeah. Could have been Little Giants. And speaking of Little Giants, you know who hasn't watched Little Giants? Anthony.
I have not seen Little Giants. Allie has been making fun of me relentlessly for this fact, but because she's been bullying me so hard, I might go watch it tonight. But we'll see.
Yes,
Definitely watch it
please.
soon.
You need to watch Little Giants.
I do. Timothy asks, "Hey Anthony, will Daniel Jones have an MVP season this year?" I think that's tough. I'm sure Allie's going to say yes to that, but me personally, I don't think he's going to be the MVP of the league, but I think he's going to have a really good year. I think he could be the Giants MVP. However, I think you've got so much talent up at the top of this league right now with guys
That's
like
true.
Patrick Mahomes and I mean, who knows who's going to break out? Trevor Lawrence could break out. Justin Herbert could break out. Lamar Jackson could bounce back. There's a lot of talent at the top of this league
Yeah.
and a lot of these players are unfortunately far more popular than Daniel Jones. So they're just more likely to win based on that alone.
I'm actually really high on Trevor Lawrence this year. I'm excited to see him and Calvin Ridley. I'm
Yeah,
just excited to watch the Jags. I think they're going to be really good this year.
they should be. And I'll be rooting hard for my guy, Evan Engram.
All right. That is who I'm not rooting for, but I'm high on Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I am too, though. This is a good question. What do we think happened to Kenny Galladay? I think that the hip injury was far more serious than we ever realized it to be, and he wasn't able to recover.
I think he just needed a change of scenery. I just feel like it wasn't working out here. And then last season, he was barely on the field, and when he did, he just didn't look good. It wasn't clicking. I feel like it just wasn't gonna work. And I don't know. I thought maybe if he were to go somewhere else, maybe he could have a little glimmer of hope that maybe he could still be good, but I just don't think it was gonna work out here. It could have been confidence, maybe. His
Yeah,
confidence could have been shot. Dave said everyone's fighting for their spot. I feel like I saw David Sills probably on the field more than I saw Galladay, so
yeah,
there has to be a reason for that.
yeah. Definitely a reason. I think confidence was shot, but I think that, when he got here, he just wasn't the same player that he was on
Yeah.
the Lions. And I think that was the hip, and then the hip made him lose the confidence, and it all
Yeah.
snowballed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And now he's not even on a team, unfortunately. So
Yeah. I feel like I haven't heard anything about him at all. It's just been quiet.
I don't think anybody's interested in
Yeah.
signing him now, unfortunately. So
Mhm.
hope he had a good investment portfolio. Sam, who is Dylan Backer? Dylan Backer is another Empire Sports Media employee who writes articles covering the Giants, the Yankees, and the Knicks. You should go to empiresportsmedia.com and you should go read some of his articles because he's very talented, and he also helps us out on some of our Fireside Giants content, editing some of our clips and our episodes. So go check him out, and you might even see him on the channel soon enough one of these days in the coming months or weeks. So check
I
him out.
actually spoke to Dylan the other day.
Yeah.
Very welcoming. Yeah.
Was it on X?
It was on X. See,
He's a very
goes
nice
down.
guy.
Yeah, super sweet. Super sweet.
He is. I actually met Dylan for the first time in person last week. We had lunch together.
Nice. Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, I
Yep,
think he
and-
told me that, actually.
Yeah, really? Yeah,
Yeah,
he's really
yeah.
nice. And with his brother Justin, who also writes for Empire Sports Media. So we've got some cool guys. Oh yeah, he is. Stephen RC points out he is on the Fireside Knicks channel. He does a lot of podcasting over on that space. I don't know enough about the Knicks, and I'm not a fan of the Knicks, so you won't catch me over there anytime soon. But go check out Justin and Dylan Backer on Fireside Knicks. They're twins too.
They are very nice guy. Highly recommend. Show him
Super
some
nice.
love.
RSG NATO, who is y'all rookie of the year candidate from any rookie drafted this year? If you're talking Giants players, there's a few. But if you're talking to any player, there's also a few. So you know what? I'm gonna let you go first, Allie. Talk Giants.
I don't even care about any other rookie. Jalen Hyatt, offensive rookie of the year. I'm locking it in. He's manifesting it. I'm manifesting it. We are going to see Jalen Hyatt go crazy. And I said it before, I'm going to ride with Deontay Banks, defensive rookie of the year. I want to sweep like the Jets last year just because I need it for the ego. Jalen Hyatt, Deontay Banks, I'm locking it in.
Wouldn't that be incredible if the Giants really had the Jets situation where they had the offensive and the defensive rookie of the year? That'd be so awesome. I could see it happening. I mean, it's not likely, but I could see it happening. I mean, you're talking about like the prospects that the Jets drafted last year where they were ranked. Like those are
Mhm.
guys who were, versus where these prospects of the Giants just drafted. So it would be even way less likely for it to happen on the Giants end. However, it is possible. Hyatt's look good at camp. We know that he's got a lot of talent. It's just about developing. And Deontay Banks, like I said, I loved that pick in the first round. I thought he should have went a lot earlier in the draft. So he would be my pick of the two. Who's more likely? I'm going to go with Deontay Banks. I think he's going to be really, really good. But yeah, RSG NATO wants our picks for the rest of the league. And I think that's really tough for me because I'm not paying enough attention to the rest of the league right now, which I need to be because I'm in this dynasty fantasy league. And I have no idea what I'm doing in it. So
Wing it. That's what I did. I have absolutely no rookies, which is gonna hurt me. I think I have Eric Gray is one of my rookies.
Nice.
I'm blanking. I'm terrible with names. I think I have someone who's on the Seahawks, not JSN though. I
You know
know my
who
rookies are hurt.
Go ahead.
Done. My thought is finished.
No good rookies.
Now let me check. I have to check.
I think Jahmyr Gibbs could be Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I love Gibbs actually.
Gibbs is really good, and Bijan Robinson's really good as well. But I don't know. I just don't believe in Atlanta. I think Atlanta stinks. But Detroit's good, and Gibbs is good. I think he's going to be killer this year.
Yeah, that was my thing. I love Drake London, and I'm such a Drake London fan, and I was really upset with just how it went on the Falcons because that team was just absolutely terrible. Oh, that's who I have. I have John. No, he's not a rookie. Okay, my young ones. Laporta. Okay, Laporta's my rookie. And I think Eric Gray. I think I only have 2 rookies here.
Yeah, you're struggling.
Yeah, I was so bad. My pick was like horrible. I first picked, so I had to wait forever to pick again.
Yeah,
I have no young ones. My team is old.
I'm going to have to learn about waiting patiently to make my draft picks because I am in a 20-person dynasty league with IDPs. So I think each roster is about 32 total players. So it's almost like drafting an NFL roster, and I'm going to be sick to my stomach sitting through that. But I already spent my $50. I'm in the league, so I'm going to have to do it. I'm too deep in at this point. But not really looking forward to that draft day. That's going to be
I hope you have a better draft than me because
yeah. Well, I'm going from scratch. I'm not I'm not bringing in new players. I'm from scratch here, so it'll be interesting. But I don't know. I have a few players that I'm targeting, but I won't say them out loud because I'm afraid that some of my friends might view this
watch it
and yeah, and try and take my guys. But RM, thank you again. Another donation. Really appreciate you. You're really showing out tonight. Much love. What struck me as interesting is QBs like Kyler Murray and Watson got paid and not the slightest of critique. DJ gets paid and the world burns. Part of that, I think, is because you're more plugged into Giants Twitter and stuff, so you probably hear more of the noise. I think there was definitely a lot of criticism surrounding Deshaun Watson's contract for sure. Kyler Murray, it seemed like everybody did praise that contract for some reason, but it looked really bad after a year. So I don't know. You do make a good point, though. Daniel Jones has gotten way too much unnecessary hate from fans and critics alike. Really, really unfortunate. He doesn't deserve it, but you got something to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a rant. So it kind of plays into my Daniel Jones rant. I told you about my girl, Kimmy Checks, who I love. She actually was one of the people who came at Kyler Murray. And I remember when the talks of his contract was coming out, his manager or agent or whatever had released a statement that was pages and pages and pages long, basically putting so much blame on the Cardinals. Because remember, they did horrible when they went to the playoffs. And he was basically trying to say the Cardinals didn't put him in a situation where he could succeed and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, you as the quarterback at some point have to take responsibility for what happened to your team. And instead of pointing fingers at your team and going, you didn't help me win and you didn't do this, blah, 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 you should have sat there and be like, you know what, me as the quarterback, I need to do better. We didn't play good. That's it. You need to take accountability. And I kind of bring that in to DJ because we have never seen Daniel Jones, not once, point fingers at the Giants and go, they didn't get me an offensive line. They didn't give me offensive weapons. They did nothing but set me up to fail. I had a freaking carousel of head coaches and offensive coordinators. He did not do that once. Every single time DJ has got on a podium, it's been, I'm sorry, I'm the quarterback. I have to do better. And every time they've won, it's, oh, the team did well. And
Yep.
so just for the leader that Danny is, I feel like he doesn't deserve half of this hate. And I think he's a damn good player. And we're going to see it this year. And that's what I have to say on that. And yeah. Thank you.
That was a good rant. I liked that. I
Thank
agreed
you.
with all of that. I think you made some really
Thank
good
you.
points, especially considering the fact that Daniel Jones has never said a bad word about anybody in his life, it seems. So I don't understand how everyone feels so comfortable being mean to him. It's not cool, man. Be nice, guys. Be nice.
Literally, that interview with Boomer made me want to like bang my head against the wall.
Yeah, Boomer was fanning the flames a little too much, but that's what he does. That's what he does, unfortunately. Sam Fountain, good comment here. He will not win Offensive Rookie of the Year, but I believe JMS will be the best on the Giants this year. I think that he could be the best rookie. That wouldn't shock me at all. I think he has the highest floor out of all those guys. I think he's probably the most pro-ready of them. Also, you're getting a lot of love in the comment section here, so let me just go ahead and highlight that. Got RSG NATO, W, Rowley Alley, DJ is a young Hall of Famer. Young Hall of Famer, interesting.
Oh.
Maybe.
I'll take that.
Darius says you know ball.
Thank you.
RM says that was a beautiful rant. And Mom Perry says Jones is a leader. He agrees with you. I agree too. And I also got to say I agree with you, Darius. Jones was not overpaid. I agree because when that contract was signed, I think it netted him number 7 in the NFL, 7th highest paid, I think. And now I think he's like 12th. So, or something like that, 10 to 12, somewhere in there. So, it wasn't an overpay because you're paying him as a fringe top 10 to 15 quarterback, and you know that the market's going to keep resetting. So in 2 years from now, it's going to be a bargain if he plays well. So I always had the take that was a great contract by Joe Schoen.
Yeah. The graphic that he was getting paid more than Mahomes was the one that was getting me mad because it was like that literally is not the case and that's not what's happening.
Yeah.
But okay.
The contracts change year to year to year. So it's like, but yes, you do know ball. You know your shit, according to RM.
Thank you. I like Amy. That's a good game. That's a good name.
Solving the race problem. See, it happened. I don't know if I should have said that one out loud. I think it's a good problem to solve, but I didn't know what I was reading when I started reading it. So, but yes. I wonder if that's what your channel covers. If it is, I might be interested to read about it, or watch about it. Bobby O got overpaid for being honest about the linebacker market. I think that he was probably right in the range where he should get paid. However, I could see why you would think that it would be a little bit overpaid. I could see it because honestly, I think that he was about the right contract amount, about the right salary. I disagree now. I had to think about it. Sorry.
I don't think he's overpaid. I feel like sometimes people just see big numbers and they try to like scream overpaid. But it's like in reality, how much would you want to pay this player? Look at the market, look at their talent set. What do you think they're worth?
Yeah, I think that where the market lies, it's just about a normal linebacker contract for a starting linebacker in the league. That's what you need right there. So, I mean, and the Giants had to pay. So, it's also when you get into free agency, when you have such a need like the Giants had at linebacker, you have to overpay. And I don't even think the Giants did overpay. So, but they needed to address that linebacker position.
Yeah.
They couldn't address everything in the draft. So they had to get a linebacker that can start 17 games and put up 150 tackles. And they found one, and it's Bobby Okereke. And so you just had to give him his money. Honestly, that's what they had to do.
If you need to do it, do it.
And Diggy makes a good point. We paid Blake Martinez 10 per year like 4 years ago. So 4 years later, if you're paying 10 per year to Bobby Okereke, looks like pretty good value to me. If DJ balls out the next 5 years, I say give him $200 million. Sure, RSG NATO. Why not? Let's hand him one of those contracts that all of the soccer players are getting in the Saudi league, like Ronaldo making $100 million a year.
Oh my gosh, those contracts are insane. And
it's really upsetting now because my favorite soccer player, Neymar, has gone over to the Saudi league, so I won't ever watch him play again. There's just no point. He's not playing against the top competition. It's all those different leagues. Some of them there's just no good competition, and so that one.
I'm sorry. I don't watch a lot of soccer, so
Yeah, the soccer's come up a few times in this live stream.
yeah,
I should probably
yeah.
stop bringing it up because it feels like nobody in this chat really watches it except for me and Tuto and a few others. But
I
yeah,
feel like okay, for the most part, the only sport I feel like I really watched and fell in love with was football. However, last year I did start falling in love with hockey, and I'm hoping I could go to a Rangers game sometime this season and
oh
kind of
yeah.
start getting into and following that up. And that's basically one of the only other sports that I see myself falling in love with.
Have you ever heard of Fireside Rangers? Maybe you should check that out.
I should check out Fireside Rangers.
You should totally check out
I'm
Fireside Rangers.
I'm gonna check out Fireside Rangers.
It's been way too long since we recorded an episode, but I'm a co-host on Fireside Rangers.
Are you really?
I am. Fireside Rangers. Check it out, guys, if you're a Rangers fan.
Okay, I'm definitely checking that out now.
Yep. RG NATO, I'm ready to play soccer. They making that back. You know, that's a good point. Everybody went crazy for like a week over baby Gronk, right? That father was doing it the wrong way. You got to do the Mbappe project. You guys got to look up the Mbappe project. That's another viral thing where you put babies in soccer cleats and you make them run around and try and learn soccer. The amount of money that these soccer players are making is like disgusting. And I wish that I played that sport growing up. So
yeah. I'm going to make another Little Giants reference that you wouldn't know because you didn't watch the movie. But there is a father who has a son named Spike there, and he reminded me a lot of Baby Gronk's dad. So definitely check that out.
The Baby Gronk thing was the stupidest thing that happened this entire offseason. I just got to say that. That was just stupid.
It definitely was.
That was like I had to get off Twitter. I had to just stop. Like I had to take a break.
That caused your Twitter break?
Yes. Many things caused my Twitter break, but that was up there. Stephen RC, women's soccer is better. I think that they're both excellent. I think that they're both really fun to watch. The Women's World Cup is going on right now, and best believe I'm tuning in. Never too late to learn. That's a lot of money. Dude, if I could learn and get to a high level of playing soccer right now, best believe me, I would. But I have tried to play, and I am just terrible.
I also suck at soccer.
Yeah,
I don't know
really bad.
what it is. Not for me, not my sport.
Yeah. What I am good at, though, flag football. I'm a little beast. Nice little quarterback I am.
He is. I've seen videos. Very good.
Yep. I had to show off. Had to just show. I got some athletic ability in here. You guys are missing out.
Stealing Tyrod Taylor's job.
Yeah, that's our new game plan. I'm gonna steal Tyrod Taylor's job. She's gonna get on the Giants coaching staff. She's gonna work her way up the ranks, and then you're gonna have Double A just running the New York Giants in the next 5 years.
While we're talking about quarterbacks, though, I have an interesting fact that I just kind of want to touch on. Because DeVito is fun to watch, but I'm trying to think realistically in this roster, right? Obviously, they're not going to cut Tyrod. However, if DeVito plays really good, is that someone you really want to send to waivers? Like, do you want him to get picked up by a different team? Because I think he would. If he continues to play really well and we drop him to waivers, I definitely do see a team picking him up. And that's
I think that's a tough one because I don't know if anybody's going to pick him up off of waivers, but they could if they need quarterback depth. I don't know. That's a tough one because I think that's definitely a player that the Giants want on their practice squad. But you're right. If they cut him, will he be on the practice squad? I don't know because he has to clear waivers to get placed on the practice squad. Because I know Steven just said practice squad exists, but he's got to clear the waivers to get to the practice squad. So that's the risk you run in cutting him.
Not to bring up Hard Knocks, but last year on Hard Knocks, the Lions did that. They cut one of their quarterbacks expecting him to get to practice squad, and they were heartbroken when he got picked up because that was not part of their plan. So sometimes things just happen. So
that's a really good point. I don't watch Hard Knocks usually, so I'm glad that you were able to bring that up.
Yeah,
I started watching the Jets one though. I gotta watch that. I gotta see that.
Yeah. Now the Lions one was actually heartbreaking. Like they were like super emotional and they were really hurt to see that quarterback go. I don't remember who it was, but they really wanted to keep him. So
yeah, I know that happens a lot. You know, you see players that get cut, team plans on bringing them back, and just doesn't work out. Diggy says he's been getting a lot of cut Tyrod comments. We haven't gotten too many on this channel, but you know, we had a nice friendly debate Us Two versus Alex last week.
Yes,
Where
I think it was Blau.
Yeah, Dave Blow. I remember that
Yeah.
name.
Mhm.
We were debating should the Giants go with Tyrod or should they go with DeVito, and a lot of the comment section was actually favoring Tyrod. So all the Tyrod haters are flocking over to Diggy's channel, and then all of the DeVito destroyers are over on our channel. We need to swap that. Got to swap that.
No,
Make a
I'm over
1-for-1
Tyrod
trade
Taylor.
here, Diggy. I am also over Tyrod Taylor. The way that he dove into that concussion, I keep saying that, but it's true.
Holding a crutch.
I think it was the stupidest thing that I've ever seen in my life. I can't get over it. I can't get over it. I
But I
never
feel
will.
like that's everything with Tyrod Taylor.
RSG NATO wants to see me play some flag football, so I am going to play a clip.
Yes.
I'm going to do it.
Let's do it. Let's see it.
I've been talking myself up for a very long time on this channel, so let's show it off.
He had it ready.
I had it pulled up. I've been working on the side. Look at that. You guys see that? On a rope, on the run, rolling to my right. Let's just drop this in the basket right here. No offensive line protection on this team. It's just me out here, and I'm slinging it. You guys want to see bad offensive line play? I'll play another clip. And you guys are going to be like, whoa, I didn't know you could move like that. I can move like that. Ready for this one? Hold on. There we go. Oh, yeah. Look at me go. I'm like Patrick Mahomes out here. You guys see that? Rate my throwing motion, guys. Look at that pocket presence. Elite. I know ball, guys. I know ball.
If I was a scout, I would have scouted you. So
someone's got to come scout one of my football games, see my skills. You want to hear the craziest story? We lost our playoff game this year. It was really unfortunate. But we were so outmatched. Like the teams it wasn't even close. I tried my best to keep it close, but the talent level was so insane. But I threw the coolest touchdown pass, and it's cool because I got injured on the play.
Oh, no.
So I rolled to my left. I had no protection. Roll to my left. So it's cross body. I throw this dime into the corner of the end zone, toe tap touchdown. But as I was throwing, the guy was trying to pull my flag. He did not pull my flag. He pulled another part of my body, and it hurt so badly. But I powered through the pain, and I threw the touchdown pass, and it was the best throw of my life.
I'm trying to figure out what part of your body he pulled.
My ankle. Cut Tyrod, cut DeVito, sign me. Let's do it, guys.
I agree. I'm so here for that. I think that jersey would go so hard.
I think so too. Rivardo on the back. You kidding me?
What number
Got to
would you
unretire number 7 or give me 13. I'll take that. I'll take 13. But I'll pay a lot of homage to OBJ.
Okay. I can see that. I would 100% buy your jersey. So.
I appreciate that. I hope that all of you would buy my jersey because I can ball, and I will totally lead us to the promised land if Daniel Jones ever goes down with an injury. I'm out there.
That's on me.
Darius says there's going to be an Anthony Rivardo breakout season. I think you're right, dude. I think so.
I agree.
Stephen RC asks, would you rather have your quarterback butt fumble or dive into a concussion? Honestly, dude, give me the butt fumble.
Yeah, the diving into the concussion was crazy. So unnecessary.
I couldn't believe it. It's like Daniel Jones is out here, got ice on his ankle. Tyrod Taylor goes into the game. Could have just slid. Nah, he just Superman right into somebody's kneecap. What's he thinking? But RSG, you know what? That's what we're going to open up the merch store with. A Rivardo jersey. The first thing on the store.
Honestly, I do think people would buy that, though. That'll be kind of fire.
I think so. I think I got to get one. I think we got to put it on the store. If you guys want a Rivardo jersey, comment it down below. Let me know. Gmen7, good to see you. See you later. We're wrapping up soon anyway, guys. I went overtime. I was having fun. Oh, yeah. Allie's going to be the president of the fan club.
I will.
Let's go.
I will be.
Let's go.
I love a good rushing quarterback.
I can move.
Mm-hmm.
Am I referring to an open relationship with a kicking net? No comment.
I don't even know what that means.
Brian Brown, your jersey has to be 15 so your nickname can be AR-15. That would be pretty cool. Stephen RC says that's taken by Anthony Richardson, but I'm better than Anthony Richardson.
Heard it here first. I'm gonna clip that. I'm going to clip that and
I'm
post
the better
that.
Anthony.
I'm going to clip that comment.
Got to put my highlights in there too. I've got some moves, man. I can really throw it. One day I'm gonna make like a full video, post it on the channel, and you guys are gonna watch me just go crazy out there. Okay, because I have some really great highlights, and so I'm gonna make more of them, and I'm gonna put a video together, and then you guys are all gonna hype me up, and the Giants are gonna see it, and they're gonna sign me.
I agree. I think that's exactly what's gonna happen.
I do too. All right, so before we wrap up, we'll get back to the Giants for a second. Stop talking about me. Okay. You know, it's actually funny, Steven. I did wear 15 in basketball in high school, but nobody ever called me AR-15. It just wasn't a thing. But I did wear 15.
Wow.
Missed opportunity. Could have had a cool nickname. Oh, well.
Go back in time.
All right, so what do we want to see on Friday night? Let's finish this off by previewing the game before we say good night to our devoted fans.
All right. Am I starting or are you starting? That's me? What do I want to see?
Allie. Go for it.
Okay. Well, if the starters do play, I'm excited again just to see Hyatt. I feel like I touched on that. I just want to see something out of special teams. I want to see tackles being made. Obviously, I can't ask for much. Just no more missed tackles. I think I'm intrigued by the wide receiver battle just a little bit. I don't know who's playing. I don't know what's going on with Colin Johnson. I don't know what's going on with that whole thing, but I would like to see Colin Johnson play a little bit. Right now, I have Beasley having a roster spot. However, I do see Colin Johnson maybe taking that from him, so I feel like I'm going to be paying attention to that as well. But that's really all I see. I just want to see Hyatt. And
I want to see Hyatt as well. I'd like to see some starters play. Hopefully they do. If not, I'm keeping a close eye on those safeties, as I mentioned. Javarius Owens, Dane Belton, Alex Cook, and I'm looking at really just all the defensive backs, those rookie corners as well. Those are who I'm keeping a close eye on. But what we need to see on Friday night, need to see better offensive line play, first and foremost. It has to improve. Has to, because the Giants had some starters out there on the offensive line, and they played poorly as well. Azidu did not play well. He struggled as well. So
no, he didn't play good at all.
Yeah, Giants offensive line is definitely a concern still. So that's what I need to see. Other than that, what else I need to see? All of you at FanFest next Thursday. This is going to be fun. I can't wait.
FanFest is going to be fun. I will be there as well. Fun. Come say hi.
Come say hi to Double A, the two of us. We have a little competition going. Should we share the info on the competition?
Go for it. Place your bets right now.
All right. Who would win in a race, guys? Place your bets right now. And believe me, I'm taking tabs. I'm writing down who's betting for me and who's betting for Allie. But who's winning in a race? I think they're going to pick me now that I just showed my athletic ability on those clips here. So
I am also super athletic, first of all. If I chose to, I could have ran track, but I stood with my theater route, which my basketball coach was super, 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 super upset with me about because he wanted me to continue sports, and I didn't because I wanted to be a freaking performer. But I am really fast, and I do think I can beat you. And again, I'm super athletic, so people should not count me out.
We will see. We will see. I don't know. You're getting a little bit of hype in the comments. Araco says you're going to fly. You might.
I am.
Not faster than me, though. Kenny G needs to see some Allie film. You got any old basketball clips? You got a huddle?
Honestly, I think my championship game from like 8th grade I have on film. I think that's the only one I ever recorded.
Maybe next week we gotta see that on the stream.
I scored in that game, and I wasn't much a scorer, so that was big.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Damn, you're getting most of the bets here. Marty picked you. Rocco picked you. Sam picked you. RSG picked me. Thanks, my man. Steven picked me, but said that it's not even going to be fair. I agree. It's just not fair. It's not fair.
It's not fair for you.
Okay. Darius picked you. Everyone's picking me. What? Or everyone's picking you. Nobody's picking me. Nobody's picking me. You guys just saw my incredible quarterback abilities. We just talked about me being the starting quarterback of the Giants, and nobody's picking me. This is crazy. I don't
I
even
could
know
have
what
been
to
a
do.
track star.
Am I just not likable, guys? Is that the problem? No, I'm kidding. The kicking field goal, TBH, that would be a pretty good a good challenge. Maybe next Fan Fest. We'd have to be on the field for that one though.
I
But
could do like a makeshift one. With like
we could.
people.
We're gonna set up a little area in the parking lot of MetLife at FanFest, and we're just gonna race. And I hope to see all of you cheering me on, and as I inevitably beat Allie by a wide margin
Well,
of space.
when Anthony loses, he's gonna get some Dippin' Dots. So look forward to the picture of him with his Dippin' Dots after he loses.
Unfortunately, I won't be having Dippin' Dots. It's gonna really stink, but you know.
He's gonna be having Dippin' Dots.
Well, I don't know about that. Okay, FanFest Thursday. Be there, guys. Seriously, I'm really excited for it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I would like to meet some of you guys. I feel like for the last 4 or 5 years that I've been doing this, I've only met like 3 of you, and that needs to change. It's because I live in Florida. I don't get to meet you guys. So, FanFest, I do really want to meet all of you. So, I'll be tweeting about it. Make sure that you follow me on X/Twitter, because when I'm there, I'm going to say, hey, I'm in this parking lot or I'm in this area. Come say hi to me. And then you can all come say hello to me and meet me finally once and for all. And you can also meet Allie, and you can also meet Alex. Whole Fireside Giants squad is going to be in attendance, and we're really, really excited. So please come meet us and say what's up, take pictures, talk Giants, all of that fun stuff.
Yep, AAA in full action.
AAA in full action for the first time.
Yes.
RSG NATO, if you pull up from Virginia, I will have some sort of surprise for you. I don't know what it will be, but I'll have something for you, some little piece of merch, something, or at least maybe like a sticker, something. I don't know if you're going to drive all the way for a sticker, but you could definitely have a sticker. You should have a sticker anyway. DM me.
I want a sticker.
Okay, you can have a sticker. I'll get you a sticker. All right, well, good stream. I'm tired. I was on a 6-hour flight today. Fun fact about me. So I need to sleep. But all right. Thanks everybody for pulling up, for showing out. Appreciate all the love, all the support. Of course, we'll be back live streaming next week. And of course, we'll see you all at FanFest. So make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this episode. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Ring the bell so you don't miss an episode. Comment your thoughts if you're watching the replay down below in the comment section. And go ahead and follow us on all of our social media channels at Fireside Giants. We'll catch you all in the next one. Have a good one, and let's go Giants.